Aviation watchdog DGCA today said that the crew of IndiGo flight from the national capital, New Delhi to Srinagar on Wednesday had sought permission to enter Pakistan airspace to avoid turbulence, but the request was rejected. In a detailed statement about the incident, the DGCA said that there was no injury caused to any passengers who were on the flight and that the aircraft's nose was damaged. The incident of the aircraft encountered turbulence is being probed by DGCA. It was on Wednesday, IndiGo's neo aircraft operating flight CE6E2142 encountered a hailstorm and severe turbulence occurred, and this was near Pathankot.
I've covered aviation now for God knows how many years, but and I've always played down aviation emergency incidents unless they were very serious. This now emerges as among the most serious incidents which I've read about in a long time, and I'm going to try and go through some of the details that we have with us. Now remember, this was a recent flight between Delhi and Srinagar of an IndiGo A321 aircraft. It was a flight on the 21st of this month. While it was flying near Pathankot, it tried to veer left because it detected a very heavy storm front, and it was denied permission to veer left near Pathankot by Indian air traffic controllers. And then, given the seriousness of the situation and what appeared to be a very dark mass of clouds, very severe weather ahead, they would likely have detected that on their weather radar. They called up Lahore air traffic control and said they wanted to veer into Pakistani airspace to avoid the storm front in front of them. This was denied by Pakistani air traffic controllers given the situation. Remember, there are no overflights allowed of Indian airliners over Pakistani airspace. It was then that we now have details of what broke out on that aircraft. And while we do have passenger accounts of that harrowing experience, and while we do have pictures showing that the extensive damage to the nose cone of the aircraft took place, there is a statement from the Directorate General of Civil Aviation which actually spells out what happened. And while in the thunderstorm cloud that this aircraft was forced to get into, there were warnings of an angle of attack fault, an alternate low protection lost, backup speed scale unreliable. These were all triggered. I'll tell you what that all means. Because of the updraft and downdraft encounter, the aircraft, the autopilot trip, the aircraft speed had wide variations. The maximum operating speed, the maximum operating mark warnings, and repeated stall warnings were triggered. During this period, the rate of descent of the aircraft at a particular stage was 8,500 feet per minute. The crew flew the aircraft manually till they exited the hailstorm, then declaring an emergency. Now, in simple terms, what this does mean is that in the cockpit, there were multiple warnings which were sounded. There was an overspeed warning which was sounded. There was a stall warning which was sounded on multiple occasions. The instrumentation on the aircraft was not reliable. The pilots had to manually fly the aircraft. At one stage, it started descending at a rate of 8,500 meters per minute, or feet per minute. And that is, an idea of the extreme turbulence they faced. Once they exited that storm cloud, they made that emergency landing in Srinagar. There was damage, but what the pilots had to fight through is one of the most severe situations I have seen in recent times.